Well, we've got the market open coming up. First rates, what do we have? It's an absolutely quiet start. It's 25,400 on the Nifty, almost unchanged. We've got the Sensex, which is at about 82,973. There is down about 0.15. Bank Nifty is literally blinking red and green, right? 52,188 is where it is. It ended flat yesterday as well. And you've got the Bank Nifty, which is also the mid-cap index, beg your pardon, which is also starting with absolutely nothing on it. So this is what you have on the indices, not very much to show for it. The IT index is down in a pronounced way, although I think this is still very early, but 1.2, 1.3% lower on the Nifty IT index. And that's got to count as one of the big movers sectorally, up or down. So that's Nifty IT for you. The heat map on your screen, I think it's even Stevens, 25 up, 25 down approximately. So that's but just the Nifty. But broader market, there will be lots moving. So let's get to it. Surabhi.
Absolutely. Well, in the broader market, 90 points higher on the mid-cap index. Torrent Power is reacting positively. They've got some power supply contracts in Maharashtra, 4% up on that stock. Some of the other movers include Neogen Chemicals, continuing its rally from yesterday. Remember, it was a big day for not just Neogen, but a couple of other chemical stocks as well. So those are some of the early names. There's Quest Corp, which is up about 3.5%. MRPL, up about 3% as well. Actually, speaking of MRPL, let me check on the other stocks. Oil India and ONGC also managing a little bit of green because of the cut in the windfall tax, about 1% higher. But it is very quiet in the market, you'd have to say, on the mid-cap screen as well. There's not too much moving around. Superjeet, the company we just spoke with, down about 1.5%. So yeah, it's absolutely quiet. One trend that really is continuing is the fact that IT is absolutely on the back foot right now. LTIMindtree, Wipro, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, TCS, HCL Tech, all IT stocks on the back burner on the Nifty. And the upside is coming through Bajaj Finance, by the way. Mangalam was just talking about that Morgan Stanley view on how probably it's a better way to play the whole financial services group, the Bajaj group that is. That stock's up and about. There's some buying on Britannia, Lever, ITC. Basically looks like it's even Nestle for that matter. So it's basically back to FMCG till the global clouds part, and we know what the Fed wants to do.
We know what the Fed wants to do. For the second day running, we are seeing some traction in Torrent Power, REC, PFC doing extremely well. On the way down, again, you have, the top 5 losers in the F&O space are all IT stocks. Infosys, Oracle Financial, we have Persistent Systems, L&T Tech, and Birla Soft. So the top 5 losers in the F&O space are all from the IT pack. For the second day running, we're also seeing some traction in Tarmat Limited. Remember, yesterday that stock was locked in the 5% upper circuit after getting an order worth nearly 140 odd crores. So that stock's doing well. I'm looking at Emcure as well. This morning, Emcure is up 3%. There's a Kotak initiation coming in on Emcure. They like the stock. The target price that they have is 16.55. So that stock's doing well. BSE is bouncing back today, so up around 3% at the open. We'll keep an eye out on that one. And the stocks which are not doing too well, we are seeing some bit of a decline in names like Bajaj Housing Finance. Opens about 2% lower. Let's see where that goes. You have Zaggle Prepaid, Titagarh Rail Systems, Century Ply. You'll have to go down, the volume radar to look at stocks which are moving on the obverse side. Largely flattish, but a few individual stocks doing extremely well. Even the alcohol space continues to do well. Radico Khaitan up another 2% this morning.
Absolutely. 30 points lower on the Nifty is what we have. We're at about 25,386 as the first few minutes of trade. REC and PFC, I think we highlighted these. I mean, they've been consolidating for a while, but they're making a bit of a move right now. So 2% on both of each of them. Now, IT is something that I was highlighting, right? The index started 1.5% lower. But I mean, you look at biggest volume-led loser, a lot of IT there today. TCS is down 1.3%, should come up. Infosys is down 1.5%. I mean, these are not usually on the top of the volume board. But they are today. So on the downside, there is Infosys, which is down 4%. Infosys is seeing a bit of a cut. I'm not sure if there's any news flow or something out of the US which we're missing because the sector is down. Oracle Finance is down about 2.5%. Persistent is down 2%. There is LTIMindtree, and we should put some of this up in terms of alerts. LTIMindtree is down about 1.7%. Wipro is down 2%. So, yeah, I mean, these are what, 7, 8 names that I read out from the IT services pack. And, of course, it's showing up with the IT index being down 1.3, 1.4% that we highlighted earlier. So that's IT for you. Apart from that, Blue Dart went up like a rocket yesterday, 10-11%, and I think it's coming off a little bit right now, 3.5%, just a pullback basically. Ecos Mobility went up sharply yesterday. Recent listing, it's a fortnight old in the markets, 1.5 lower. Godfrey Phillips was down 3.5-4% yesterday. It's down another 3% this morning, 75.35 or so on Godfrey Phillips. Titagarh is down about 2.5%. Natco, Century Ply was up sharply. That's down about 2%. We were highlighting and we spoke about Zaggle yesterday. Wonderful month so far for Zaggle, up 30%. It's down about 2%. But these are just broadly in the nature of some profit booking. But there is more IT, which I did not mention. HCL Tech is also down 1.5. Tech Mahindra is down 2. Birlasoft is down 2. LTTS is down 1.5. So there's a fair bit of tech on the red side, on the downside, which is coming up. Guess what? The biggest volume-led gainer in terms of the broader market now is Ola Electric once again. It's up 3% after yesterday's 10% move higher, and it's at about 121. Ola Electric, 17 million shares on it on your screen. So big one. BSE, of course, we highlighted 5% higher. Very quickly, it's jumping. Day before yesterday was a massive move for BSE when it moved up that 15% plus. And of course, the buzz was coming out of that weekend that the NSE listing is perhaps one step closer, but not that close because there's no other discernible news flow for BSE, and it's moving up today as well. Torrent Power is up 3%. We highlighted PNB Housing had rallied from 800 to 1100 and has been consolidating. I think pulled back after the Bajaj listing. It's back around 1100 levels. 4% pop on PNB Housing. Radico is up 2.6%. Alkyl Amines is up 5% this morning. Panacea Biotech, PG Electroplast, Quest Corp, these are all in the region of being 3 to 4% higher at this point in time. So that's the market for you. Just about 10 points lower on the indices, not very much happening, but as we highlighted, a fair bit happening as far as broader markets go. Mangalam.
A couple of stocks, spiking right now. Bandhan Bank is the one which came out of F&O ban yesterday, currently has moved well, so that's higher in the green. And we are seeing some profit taking in names like Blue Dart. Blue Dart was up with big volumes yesterday, up around 10%. So currently lower by about 3%. VST Industries is the other one where we had, some pairing of stake by Radhakishan Damani. That stock's down about 2%. And for the second day running, we are also seeing some profit booking in these regional jewelry players. So TBZ, for instance, down about 4% after declining yesterday as well. So this week, the cuts are about 10%. And Kohinoor Foods, it's had a phenomenal week, a phenomenal month, and now comes down for some selling. So we'll keep an eye out on this one too. So those are a bunch of stocks.
All right, absolutely. So we'll keep an eye out on these names.